Boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Kilted
Guilted
balls.
balls.
Woo.
Yeah, that was harmony that
That
time.
time was good. Good. We're getting better, maybe.
I might
So,
have
hey,
to
welcome
retire.
back to another episode of the Kilted Balls podcast. We hope you've been enjoying the minis. Did you shoot a mini today?
I can't remember. I don't always do minis because I feel bad. My numbers are so high compared to yours. So I let you do like 3 or 4 in between to give you a chance to catch up because I do feel bad. Like you've had extra high numbers, but overall, I mean, you're hit or
Overall.
miss.
Well, thanks. Thanks for that. But you had a fun weekend. So, we talked. I don't think we talked about this last episode. We've for sure talked about it on our minis and TikToks, but
Hmm.
we've started a new trading strategy. Um,
Yes.
we don't want to share the new trading strategy, not because we don't want to share. If you know anything about
Yeah.
Kilted and Ball, we love to share our stuff. We love people to be happy, but it's not tested. Um, I back tested it personally. I think I did 3 or 4 months of back testing. And feel kind of confident, right? So I
Hmm.
feel kind of confident. I opened up some small things with
Hmm.
it. You felt way more confident with my work, so thank you. Your confidence in my data analysis makes me feel warm and cushy inside.
Well, you're that guy. You're the idea man, and someone has to be the starter. And I'm the
There we
I'm the
go.
head first if something sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and we've started it, and honestly, it's been 5 days, right?
Yeah, I started on the second, and we're recording, and we'll release this. It's the 6th.
Yes,
So I
yes.
guess technically today would be the 5th day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, today is the 6th day.
Fifth day, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Because I started late on the first because we
And
were talking about it.
I
I
started it
started
at
that night.
1 a.m. on the second. So 1
Okay.
a.m. on the
I
second was when
forgot
I
I did
started.
start on the first. And I did post the video that you and I were talking about. That's my newest video on there.
Oh, good,
Talking
good.
about the gains. I had a different one I was going to post today, but
Yeah, and so far, for me, it's been really successful. The new strategy takes into account getting stopped out, which I think is important. I don't
mhm.
think we've ever done that with any of our strategies before. I don't think
No.
we've ever said we're going to plan on losing X amount of times.
Hmm.
This strategy does plan that. It plans for you to lose.
Hmm.
I had my first loss today, and
Hmm.
honestly, it was like a 20% loss. And if you're at home going, oh my gosh, a 20% loss, yeah, but I've had lots of 20% gains. So
Yeah.
so the 20% loss, like knowing I was going to hit a loss eventually and hitting one today, I really didn't care. Right? Like it seriously, and that was kind of the big aha moment for me. Before when I was hitting losses, like I was like, "Oh, I'm so dumb. What did I do wrong?"
Uh-huh.
This time I was like, "Oh, cool. Hit a stop loss. Yay, high five." Like it seriously just rolled right off. It didn't bother me at all. So,
Yeah, I have nine closes today and 2 were losses. Two were 20% losses and the other ones were at least 10% gains.
so
So,
you
oh,
what just happened? We
oh,
lost your video.
I pushed the wrong button. So yeah, I'm super happy about that. And the
So you
great
had
part,
2 losses and how many wins?
7 wins.
7 wins. So 70 versus 40, that's a win.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Easy win.
Hmm.
Easy, easy,
It
easy
actually
math.
34 because some of them were a little over 10.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So super easy.
So yeah, and I think like as we test it more and once we're more comfortable with it, it'll be something great that we can teach other
Yeah.
people to do because we love to share those ideas. And we wouldn't want to put anyone in a situation where it's like, oh, so we want it to be black and white. Like boom, 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 boom. And back testing looked good. And so far the live testing is seemed to be
Yes. And I didn't back test it on good months. I
Yes.
purposely back tested on months that the market was very, very bearish
Mm-hmm.
to see if it would work.
Mm-hmm.
And in my analysis, it worked.
Yeah. Well, that's just like Lifer. He was even saying today, he's like, yeah, like, getting in the high 18s now stinks. He's like, but we've had our short open since 22. And he's like, I've told people that to have their shorts ready. So, and if you're
Yes.
doing something where you have a small short or the 3S tokens like he talks about, and if you haven't taken any profits, you're doing awesome. And if you have taken profits, then you have profits and you're still in the game
Yes. Yes. And that's the important part.
to be able to.
Um, and Lifer talks about back testing too, and it's not an easy process, right? Like that 1 month of back testing, I told you it took me hours,
Mm-hmm.
hours and hours, and I'm a really fast data analysis kind of person,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you know that. People who know me from the real world know that. And it
Mm-hmm.
took me a long ass time. And I was
You were
writing
working on it for a long
I
time.
wasn't. I was writing formulas in Excel to help it analyze, and I was doing things, doing things.
Mm-hmm.
But now I felt confident starting, and even then, I started small. Like
Yeah.
I didn't go like say, "Oh, I'm going to go drain my life savings and do this." I'm starting small, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a month because one of the things that we've been saying in our Discord, one of our rules is be patient. Be
Mm-hmm.
patient. And we aren't. We aren't patient people. So you're worse than me.
Mm-hmm.
But neither of us are like, "Oh yeah, let's wait." Like one of the people who commented on our minis was like, "Dude, you guys need to be happy with 3% gains every day."
Yeah.
Like that's huge. And I'm sitting here going, I'm talking about making 20% every day or F you. And
Mm-hmm.
but he's right on. He was right on.
Exactly right.
You've got to be happy, going slow and steady. And that's hard for us,
Yes.
which is why part of the thing that I really like about the new strategy is you and I are not part of the strategy.
Yes, that is a great part. It's a great part for sure.
It is.
It's taking the human element out of it. That's what we're really working on.
Yes. Because when we've had losses, almost every loss has been our fault.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone, but you're going to have losses every once in a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not going to fit the technical analysis, but
Yeah.
this, you know, this feels better, right?
Yes,
And
I
and you
agree.
think it feels better, yes?
I agree totally. I had I had $100 left in that account, and anyone who listened last week, I was heavily debating, like, you know what, I'm missing something, and it was just I wasn't having fun, and I was losing money. So I'm like, I could have that money just sitting there, or just open up, stuff that I want and daily cost average in, because it's money that I'm not really worried about for the future. But when it's going away, that means I don't have it at all.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly.
So, but
And
yes, this is feeling really good. This has got me really excited again, very enthusiastic. And
mhm.
we're learning. We're not experts yet. This is why we're not talking specifics.
Yes, yes. And we apologize if this is like a huge tease, right? The title of this will be our new strategy, part
Mm-hmm.
one. And I know that's going to frustrate you guys. And I apologize for frustrating you, but it wouldn't be right for us
Mm-hmm.
to be this excited, share the strategy, you get all excited and you do it, and then it freaking blows up in 3 days.
Yeah,
And you're
exactly.
like, kilted balls, you lost all my money. We would feel bad, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we'd feel bad about costing you money. When we tell you this, we want to be uber confident to be like, listen, if you follow our strategy, we're going to guarantee that you are up 75% by the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Like we want to have that kind of confidence before we share it with you.
Yeah.
And I think we will. I think we'll
I
have that kind
agree.
of confidence, right?
I agree.
I don't
And
I don't
we
know where
might have to
you're at.
shrink it. We might have to shrink it to make sure. And there is more risk. We're doing it with a couple different coins to really
Mm-hmm.
practice it, but we might have to cut it back and say it's going to work like this,
Mm-hmm.
but it may, if you're doing it the other way, you got a little more risk,
And
possibly more reward, and that's what we don't know yet.
right, and we're using similar techniques but different techniques.
Hmm.
I'm using a very, very conservative approach.
Hmm.
Kilted is using a very aggressive approach, and that's going to give us, we hope, like a range to
Hmm.
be able to share with you and say, hey, if you just do this and are super safe, this is going to be what happens. And if you're
Yep.
crazy aggressive, this is going to be what happens. And then, you can do whatever you want to do, but then you'll know our experience.
Hmm.
And, and we'll get on here, honestly, like if it falls on its face
We'll
through
talk about it.
September, we'll be on here talking about it. We'll be like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, the new strategy totally blew up and was horrible.
Hmm.
I don't think it will. And the reason I don't is because I back tested it for months
Yeah.
and it worked. It worked month after
Yeah.
month. And so I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah.
Um,
And another part too is whether it's conservative or aggressive, it's your lifestyle too and what's going on. So like when you are in the classroom all day, you're not looking at your phone.
I
I mean,
actually was today.
oh, okay. So for me, I'm looking at my phone constantly doing stuff. Started a new book today, so
Nice.
it's the new Stephen King book. It's really
Ooh.
good so far. But yeah, I mean, I'm constantly looking at my phone, so it's different. It's easier for me to do like some more of the things that that we're talking about.
Well,
So,
yeah, and like today's a great example. I was looking at my phone here and there,
hmm.
but there was a spot. Anybody who followed the market today, it dumped at 1 o'clock,
Hmm.
right? So 1 o'clock, the market dumped. It dropped it dropped almost 3% in 15 minutes,
Yeah. Well, I
right?
wonder what that was. I wonder what was going on with that.
I don't know, but it dropped like that in 15 minutes. And at that point, I wasn't using my phone. I was busy,
Yeah.
right? I was working at that point, like going
Yeah.
hard.
ETH went
And
from 19,755 and it was a low 18,911.
yeah. And the
That's
dumb part is
crazy.
traditionally I would have been that would be the only time I would be on my phone, would be like from 1 to 1:30.
Yeah.
But this time I had stuff to do, so I was doing
Hmm.
stuff at 1, and I didn't get on my phone until like 2 o'clock. And so imagine my surprise when I jump on at 2 o'clock and I had two closes and a stop, and I was like, "What the hell happened?"
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
how I was able to catch. That's how I had, a couple closes today.
Yeah, if I had been able to catch that,
Hmm.
I mean, I would have. I think I closed at up 10%, up 15%, something, but I would have been able to close up 25%.
Yeah. I just realized I'm calculating all wrong. I need to
Oh
go
no.
back and fix my
Oh
percentages.
no.
I mean, I'm not doing it right now, but between
Yeah.
you and I was like, oh, wait a second.
Well, I will let people know that for me personally, after 5 days being conservative, really, really conservative, I'm up just about 20%. I think it's 19 point something.
Okay.
So I'm up 20% right now. That's with a loss. So I've had a loss in there. Um, but the loss was planned for. So I don't mind it. And I'm still up 20% after 5 days, right?
Yeah.
And if I start compounding, which I've been a little compounding, a little not,
Hmm.
it's a strategy, right? So there's a strategy here. But if I can continue that for the next 30 days, I could have some big gains, right? I could have some big gains.
Yeah. For some reason, I was only calculating my losses at 20, not 30.
Were your losses at 20 or 30?
My losses were at 30, but
Oh, okay.
when I was calculating my percentage, I was only counting it at 20.
My only loss was at 20.
Okay.
So
So
totally accidental. It wasn't supposed to be 20.
yeah,
It was
I'm at
accidental.
71% right now for the month.
So after 5 days, you're at 71%.
up.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad being up 71% after
It's
5
not
days.
bad.
It's not bad.
Take out 30 for the government, you'll be okay. Still
Maybe.
40%.
No, we have enough losses. I think the government wouldn't be taking anything.
That's true. I have a long ways to go.
I don't know if you remember, but January, February, March were some bad months.
Last month was bad.
There's some bad mammo jammas going on.
So yeah. Another thing I wanted to bring up today. So I was listening to Kevin Rose, his podcast is Proof, and they bring different NFT people on there and stuff. And just like, almost like when I listen to All In For, like I get excited what they're talking about. And I have
Yes.
bought some different NFTs that they've talked about on there. And the guy today, he was talking, they're called D Gods, and it's on the
Okay.
Solana blockchain. So he's talking about the Solana blockchain and being like really fun, not like ETH, that costs are a lot less and stuff. And but I don't know your thoughts, because we definitely listen to different. I mean, we both listen to Lifer. I listen, but besides that, other crypto stuff, we listen to different things.
Right.
So for me, like I'm constant, and I don't know how many it's been. I have some Solana. I had Solana. I've never bought any of their NFTs and stuff, but I'm to the point now. I'm just steering clear. I'm waiting to see what happens, because it's been shut down a couple times. This and like just weird things are coming up, where it's like, if this is a chain that I'm using, and if same thing with Ethereum, if people were closing Ethereum down and fixing it because of different stuff was happening, I would lose confidence in it. So
Right.
I've lost a little bit of confidence in Solana, and I would love to hear from our listeners too, like what they think and anything like that, or obviously from yourself as well. But is that something, I mean, do you even look at any of the Solana NFTs, and or is it because you're not doing any NFTs at all, so like really none of them are on your radar?
So I'm really interested in looking at Solana. I've never done it. I think I should. I think I should broaden my horizons into Solana. Um, but I haven't. And
Mhm,
right now, I'm so focused on the trading that you're right. I'm like barely in the NFT market, which is one of the
mhm,
reasons why I took money out of my MetaMask. Um, I had that money in my MetaMask because I thought I would start trading NFTs again.
mhm.
And then I was just like, nah.
Okay.
I'm like, no, I'll just put that money where I'm having a good time trading.
Mhm.
Right. And so, but I did really consider getting into Solana and seeing what was up. So,
Okay.
and maybe a little Matic. I thought about getting into Matic some,
Yeah.
trying out that Polygon network.
Mhm.
Um,
I mean,
I
that's a. Oh, go ahead.
I've had some ideas. Like I was really kicking around about a week or two ago,
Mhm.
like trying to make a fundraiser on Polygon, like say make my school's logo or something and
Okay.
make like 1,000 NFTs for $5 each.
Mhm.
And they got you free admission, or they got you a t-shirt at the next home game, or something like that.
Yeah.
Free popcorn every time, whatever. But
Mhm.
open it up to everybody in the world.
Mhm.
So hey, here's a fundraiser. Do you want to help out, a bunch of cool high school kids?
Mhm.
There's 1,000 of them, they're $5 each.
Yeah. Mhm.
But like, could that be a fundraising model? And then later on, could that be a model for people everywhere? Like, oh my gosh, I want to get all the NFTs from my league.
Yeah.
Like in
Well, I
our
mean,
day, like,
that's awesome. That's a super cool idea.
so that's made me think about, oh, I should do that on Matic or Polygon so that it's
Mhm.
more of a
The minting
fundraiser
costs a lot less, and the gas is a ton less.
and it's a better fundraiser. So,
Mhm.
I kicked it around. I don't know, maybe I will do it. But that's why I thought again about, well, maybe I need to get on Polygon and do something like that, right?
Cardano.
I thought about doing kind of like everybody's doing with like football and soccer and tennis, but like having each athlete like take a picture, do some live action pictures,
Okay.
right? And then say, okay, you can have that athlete, right? Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sell one to the parents or give one to the parents or the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
here's yours, you can give it to your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Show everybody how to make wallets.
Yep.
And then you could tell, like, their grandparents, hey, do you want this NFT? Five
Mm-hmm.
bucks, right? Like, I'm not saying go crazy on them. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
No,
know,
I think that's, and
and
then
you,
you're onboarding a lot of people too.
right?
That's doing all,
And
and
because of
that's,
open, people take credit cards now. So, like, OpenSea
mm-hmm.
takes credit cards. So you could just be like, running
Mm-hmm.
it through. The auditors will be pissed, but I think I could make money.
Yeah. I think that's super cool. And that's one of the things that even on the episode today that they were talking about, because they're trying to, everyone's trying to, what's the next thing? The Yuga Labs, you have the rights, blah blah blah. That worked, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, moving forward, that's not going to be a winner. So there's
No.
a lot of different things, and not everybody wants a baby one, or and that's exactly what they were saying. And just thinking of that utility, which what you're talking about, that sounds super super cool, because for one, it's a fundraiser for the school, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to get the community or anybody. I mean, if some people just want to collect it, like, hey, I want to, like, or even if you need that NFT to put in an idea for the new logo,
Right. Right.
anything like that. I mean, there's so many different layers there and so many different things that you can do. That's really cool. And then you would want to look at some different, rather than just Ethereum.
Right. Right. You'd want to kind of broaden it, and you'd want to make it as easy for people to do. So, like, for me, I was like, okay, like, I want them to be able to just swipe a credit card and be like, boom, I got this NFT.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, maybe on Coinbase, boop, boop, done.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yep.
like you said, onboard people, but also you're making it worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, hey, can you want to support this team? It's $5,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Your
super
your
cool.
board ape is 150. How about you throw $5 at a high school kid?
Mm-hmm.
Help out his life or her life. So
That's super awesome. I love that idea.
yeah, I think it's something. I think it needs work, but I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
thing. I think it's a thing.
Yeah, that's super
So
cool.
yeah, yeah,
And I was trying to think, there was something. Oh, so on our other front, on our fish front.
yeah,
So
fish.
there was a show this weekend, and it was awesome. It was super super cool.
But you weren't selling at the show.
No, we were just there for fun. We actually got the VIP tickets, so we got there a half hour before even the VIP could get in. We were like fourth in line, because you get VIP shopping for an hour,
Mm-hmm.
discounted prices and less people. And then we were there all day, because at events like that, people discount stuff like crazy. Like a lot of the plant people we picked up some plants and some cool shrimp. Gina picked out some orange ones that we really liked. And then we circle back around at the end, and they're like, hey, we're discounting this stuff, I don't want to take it home. So
Right.
that was really, and then, so there was a lot of places we hit twice. But and it's not necessarily, I guess it's not for the entrepreneurial stuff. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a store pet someday, but I did pick up an alligator snapper, which is so cool. They're fun. They're really fun.
Alligator snappers are fun, but they're prehistoric beasts.
Yes, that's awesome. He or she is probably about that big around, maybe like 6, 7 inches.
That's still enough to take a chunk out of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been all right. Like, if you saw any of shorts, the listeners, you already knew this is not new, but anyone who didn't catch the shorts, I had a couple of videos. He already had a name, Busta, so I'm keeping the name. I don't want him to get confused.
I
So,
know. I think that's great
and
from a fellow Busta.
hmm
I think that's wonderful.
So, and then just picked up some cool stuff that we're really excited about, and I did get, on my angelfish. If you heard that episode, remember I had, when I got my angelfish breeding pair, they had fry with them, but the fry didn't make it. So I just had eggs this weekend. They're called wigglers right now, so they just hatched, but they're not swimming yet. They're
Okay.
kind of like chilling, and they're like wiggling around.
Right.
So we'll see. And then I did get 4 new They're almost the same size as those. They're not quite, or I lie, I got 6. Angelfish, really rare, Bulgarian green, I think is what they were called.
Wow.
Maybe they're getting that confused with Harry Potter or Bulgarian greenback. But yeah, I think they're Bulgarian green. I need to look that up so I know for sure. But they're really cool. They're like black and green and then like white. So
That's like super cool.
we're excited.
I think it's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the rest of
I
you
try to
public.
take over the world.
One fish at a time.
One fish at a time.
Legit, legit. So I have one more thing tonight, I think.
Oh, awesome.
Just remembered it. Besides our awesome trading strategy and the fish and Solana, I found a new scotch
You did.
totally by accident. And it was one of those things where I saw it while I was shopping and I was like, and it was super dusty, like super dusty. And I was like,
At Meyer?
nope, nope, it wasn't at my urn. So I'm like, I'm going to get it. And so almost forgot about it, got home and I forget what I was doing, but I was like, I'm going to try that. And I tried and I was like, I kind of like that. Like, that's kind of good. And so we spent the weekend camping up north with family and,
Mm-hmm.
friends. And so like the first or second day, I was like, this isn't a summer camping drink. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, but I'd like you to try this scotch with me, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
my buddy Rick like had some, and he's like, oh, that's smooth. I'm like, right? That's a good scotch, isn't it? He's like, that's a good scotch. And I noticed like not last night, but the night before, his wife was sitting there and we're like, what are you drinking? She goes, I just keep taking hits of that scotch. Like she kept pouring
Really?
herself 2 or 3 fingers drinking. She's like, it's really good. And I'm like, right? It's really good. So I don't have a bottle near
Let's see.
me.
What's the reveal?
Well, but so I got it. It's a bottle like yay big. Like it's a
Okay.
huge ass glass bottle. Members Mark.
Really?
For those of you who don't know, maybe you're not from America, Members Mark is the Sam's Club brand.
Oh, I was thinking you said Maker's Mark.
Not Maker's Mark. Don't confuse it. Not Maker's Mark. Members
Really?
Mark. Members Mark. And I'm like walking down the aisle in Sam's Club, like I was cutting through the store. And I'm like walking and I'm like, was that scotch? And I stopped and looked and it's these big ass bottles, like half-gallon bottles of Members Mark scotch. And they were like, it was like a whole like big stacked pallet like they have there. And
Yeah.
just so dusty, like nobody had ever touched them. And I'm like, and it's like imported from Scotland. I'm like, what? And it was
Yeah.
like $20
Yeah.
for like a half gallon. I'm like,
Like, why don't I try it?
$20. I'll try this. I'm like, worst case scenario, I'll like give it to people. Like,
Yeah, I'm like Maker's Mark is I thought more of a whiskey, like
yeah,
Scotch. Yeah, no, different.
no, Members Mark. And
Members.
it's like super good.
I
It's
don't think
super
we
good.
can get it here because
No,
all the liquor is like private through the ABC stores.
I'll probably put it in one of those nice glass containers. And
Uh-huh.
people are going to think that I have really good scotch. And it's freaking $20 Members Mark.
That's
The
awesome.
funny part is while we're talking about it, they're like, oh, that's how we buy all of our vodka and gin. And, they're like me, they're kind of liquor snobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, shut the hell up. They're like, no. They're like, first off, it's dirt cheap and it's good. And I'm like, what? Now, I'm sure it's not good compared to like when we get really, really good vodka,
Yeah.
right? Like, let's not be stupid, right? But like this scotch, it's like just the right amount of smoke, just the right
Mm-hmm.
amount of peat. And I've been drinking it this whole episode, right? It goes down nice.
Nice. That's awesome.
Hmm I'm super happy with
You'll have
it.
to send me some.
Yeah, like I pour you a little bottle and set it down.
Wait, no.
Eh. But yeah, so Members Mark, who knew?
That's
Right?
awesome.
So I don't know
Yeah,
if they have it at Walmart, but
if anyone's had it out there, I doubt they do. Well, they don't here.
yeah, I've never seen it at Walmart, but I don't go to Walmart really.
Yeah,
So, but Sam's Club, it was there.
that is awesome.
Good find, and it'll last me like a year because it's like a half gallon of scotch. And honestly, if you're drinking a half gallon of Scotch fast, you probably need help.
Well, I mean, it depends. There could be a special occasion, like I drank that fifth of the Johnny Walker in like 24
Totally different.
hours.
Totally different.
I was
Totally different.
sharing. I was sharing a lot of it though.
You're sharing, and it's Johnny Walker Blue, and I've
So
drank a
is
whole
it as
bunch of Johnny
yours
Walker Blue.
isn't as good as Johnny Walker Blue, is what you're saying?
Well, one's a Scotch and one's a whiskey, so they're different things.
That is true.
And if you're sitting there going, "No, they're the same thing," well, you can have my Members Mark Scotch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're
It
different
is.
things.
It is different. Yes.
Totally
I was
different
just
things.
talking liquor in general, but yes, you're right.
Well, I hardly know her.
Oh, not kid friendly.
Oh, dang it. Dang it. Not
We
kid
lost
friendly.
that one. But yeah, that's awesome. And we'll have more news, and we'll have shorts and like that for everybody too.
Yeah, like
It's
tune into our YouTube. We're doing lots of YouTube minis. I've been trying to keep up on TikTok as well, but minis so far is where it's at. And, just kind of follow along there, maybe a little on Twitter. I can't tell how much of the strategy success to share on Twitter. Like I feel
Mhm.
weird about it, so I don't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
that makes sense.
But yeah, like stick with us. We've got lots of cool stuff to share.
Hmm.
So I think anyway.
I agree.
All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of Kilted Balls. We will be back next week for sure. Check us out on our minis. Feel free to join our Discord. We'll try to remember to put it out there where you can join it. And otherwise, this is Ballbuster signing off.
Get the Dragon Jerry. Love you all.